And we kick things off with the first story, which is really kind of a surprising one. Are you ready for the Radical Cram School? This is a YouTube show that also appears on Facebook. It's by kind of not funny comedian Christina Wong. Christina Wong's Cram School. It's all about teaching young girls between the ages of 7 and 11 radical politics. Take a look at this clip.
Hello, my young comrades.
Hi.
I'm going to show a picture. This is my way of figuring out if you've been tainted by the patriarchy.
Patriarchy? What? Oh, I knew that.
Who do you think it is?
This looks creepy.
It looks creepy. Why?
There's just like this thing about white people that just makes me be like, I'm like they're like right there in a pool, and I'm just like walking into the pool, and they just give me the death stare, and then I'm just like.
So if this guy was in the pool, you would moonwalk out.
So again, what Christina Wong is trying to do, and I realized that looked like parody. That looked like a really bad Saturday Night Live sketch, didn't it? I expected Turd Ferguson to walk through at some point. But notice what you've got. You've got young girls in resistance berets, right? And very Girl Scouty. And yet here's what they're being taught. Teaching Asian girls media literacy, intersectionality, and solidarity.
Yeah, and she's describing this series on her blog as Sesame Street for the resistance. So she's actually wanting this to be an education, quote unquote, but it's an indoctrination to these girls. And you said it, they're ages 7 to 11, and 8 of them identify as girls, and then they actually, in one of the episodes, one identifies as gender fluid. Pretty much after Wong's like, so who's gender non-conforming?
Gender non-binary.
All right, what does this mean?
You're gender fluid.
You're gender fluid. Wow. What does gender fluid mean?
Like you can be any gender you want to be. You're not a boy, or like you're not just a boy, you're not just a girl.
Yeah. Does anybody know anyone who's gender non-binary? Elle?
I am gender fluid.
You're gender fluid.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful thing. Thank you for sharing that. So when people talk about genders only being 2 things, you go, no, there's actually gender non-binary. It's a thing.
It's a thing.
She basically said, because this is coming out as a whole nother season. It was announced in January. Season 2 is going to be on its way. And someone asked her about this indoctrination, and she fully admits it and embraces it.
Yeah, we are. And we've been greenlit. Season 2 is coming.
So what she's doing is she's getting people to donate money to her so she can indoctrinate even more children.
Yeah, and she's convinced that Donald Trump is the reason that inspired her for this. Donald Trump, of course, is the great misogynist in chief who is going to, by his very presence, sort of magically encrypt anti-female attitudes in these young 6 and 7 and 8 and 10-year-old girls. In fact, there's an actual clip about Donald Trump we want to show you.
It's Donald Duck.
What do we know about him? What do we know about him?
He's bad.
Unfortunately, the president.
I want to fire him. I want to build a wall.
How do we feel about this wall?
It is blocking opportunity for people that don't live in America to come here for a better opportunity.
I remember studying the 1930s when you had the fascists and then you had the communists. And they were both doing the exact same thing. They were both making enemies of the other. They were both using terms like comrade or Hitlerjugend, right, to indoctrinate children at very young ages to hate the other. And that's what you've got going on here.